Oh, Pokemon, a franchise I'm sure at least all of us are acquainted with. When someone asks you, who's the strongest Pokemon, what do you answer? Is it Arceus perhaps? Maybe Mewtwo? Maybe even Spheal or Gible? Take a guess, viewer. Which of these four is the correct answer? Well, dear viewer, if you answered any of these four options, you'd unfortunately be incorrect. This was a trick question. Of course, the answer is none other than Amaura. What? Don't believe me? Just look at these stats and this incredible move pool. It's one of the few Pokemon blessed with the godly Bolt Beam coverage and two honestly great abilities, Snow Warning, which sets up hail or snow depending on the generation and allows you to run moves like Blizzard and Aurora Veil, while Refrigerate allows you to run things such as Ice-type boosted Hyper Beam or just regular Hyper Voice. You're still not convinced? Fine, let me prove it to you. Not only am I going to be Pokemon Sword, not Shield, Sword with just Amaura, I'm going to do it in hardcore Nuzlocke rules, such as no items in battle and no overleveling the next gym leader's ace. Permadeath would just be a waste of time, so we'll be skipping that, but other than that, let's get right to it. Post-challenge talk here though. Turns out friendship gives you a ridiculous amount of bonus EXP, which even without grinding still led to me being a few levels above the cap. So we'll bend the rule to be no grinding / EXP candies, but at least for the few first gym leaders I should still be fine on the cap, but anyway, let's continue.
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning. In the beginning.
The game finally begins, and although I don't have access to our little friend until we get to the Wildera station, I can tell you now that every battle beforehand is 100% possible anyway. But before we go there, we have to choose what starter to take. Now, you might be wondering, well, if you're not gonna use a starter, then what difference does it make? Well, dear viewer, you see, depending on what starter you choose, both Leon and Hop have different Pokemon. Leon being the bigger issue, having two Pokemon change depending on what you pick, while Hop just has whatever Pokemon is weak to the starter you chose. I decided to go with Scorbunny, as it gets fighting coverage early, and that would make my life a lot harder than the other two. So Hop gets the monkey and Leon gets the lizard. After snoozing through the tutorial for 30 minutes, we finally arrive at the Wildera station, where I can access the box link. And we finally start this challenge by adding Amaura to our party and locking Fraud Bunny in the box of shame. Our beloved friend Amaura has some tricks up her sleeve already. As you can see, she's a shiny Amaura. Not only that, she has her hidden ability in Snow Warning and 3 of her egg moves, being Discharge, Aurora Veil, and Mirror Coat, 2 of which are lifesavers. But one of them maybe will come in handy once or twice, maybe not, we'll see. We run through the wild area picking up some berries and we make it to Monostoke, where more story you'll know already happens, aka we registered for a gym challenge, we beat up some Discord mods in a hotel lobby, and we start to head towards the first gym's town. After we beat up Hope once again by spamming the funny ice move on all of his team and also casually running through Grandma's team with Ancient Power and Discharge spam, we finally arrive at the grass gym town I forgot the name of. After a bit more lore no one reads, we finally enter the grass gym, where we are only required to fight one trainer who just dies to my funny ice move, as I storm through the fences with my Wooloo army and make it to the end of the puzzle. Finally, we arrive at the pitch where Milo is waiting for us, marking our first real boss fight. We start the battle, and Amaura is staring down Gossifleur. We set up an Aurora Veil for Milo's ace, while Gossifleur goes for a rapid spin. I Dynamax the turn after to guarantee the Oko versus the Gossifleur, and despite having a rapid spin boost and being 2 levels above me, I still outsped it and killed it in one shot. Milo sends out his ace Eldegoss, who also happens to be 3 levels above me. He goes for a Dynamax, making this a giant versus giant battle, and with his level advantage, he outspeeds going for a max overgrowth. Doing a Fear Chunk, while Amaura goes for a Hailstorm, dealing around 40% of Eldegoss's HP. We trade hits again, and Amaura is left just above max HP as her Dynamax runs out. To not risk an Icy Wind miss, I choose to go for an Ancient Power as Eldegoss clicks max strike for some reason, but to my dismay, Eldegoss holds, surviving at around 1 HP. We're now both back at normal size, but Aurora Veil ran out. Eldegoss goes for a Leaf Edge to try to finish us off, and Amaura holds, living on 6 HP, and takes out the Eldegoss with another Ancient Power, earning us her first gym badge. After a bit of dialogue skipping, we arrive at Route 5 Bridge, where we are faced with Hop again, who we once again wipe the floor with before we continue towards Hulbury. We finally arrive in Hulbury, and after mashing the A button for 5 minutes and searching for after telling the gym leader to go back to work, we rush down the water gym. We make quick work of the mandatory trainers thanks to the power of discharge, and after running through the gym puzzle, we arrive to the second gym's pitch. The battle begins with Nessa sending out Goldeen against her dear friend Amaura. Goldeen goes for a Water Pulse as we go for an Aurora Veil to help deal with Dreadnought later. Goldeen goes for another Water Pulse as I go for an Ancient Power, and for some reason I Dynamax the turn after, I don't know why. As the Goldeen goes for one last Water Pulse before going down to a Max Lightning. Arrokuda comes in and goes for an Aqua Jet, effectively doing no damage. We quickly take care of it with another Max Lightning. Dreadnought comes in and does finally go for the Dynamax. As Max Geyser comes out, I go for a Max Lightning and it lived. It goes for another Max Geyser, but unfortunately Amaura went down. It's fine, it's just a more warm-up round. After a bit more strategizing, we came up with a better plan of attack. Battle starts once again with the same leads as the first time. First, Goldeen hits me with a water pulse as an ancient power comes in, putting Goldeen in range of a second one. It goes for yet another water pulse as I set up an Aurora Veil for later. Goldeen goes for its third and final water pulse, going down to another ancient power. Arakura comes in, but I go for a Dynamax, setting up an electric terrain. Aquajet comes in again, doing minimal damage as Arakura goes down once again to max lightning. Dreadnought finally hits the field and Amaura and I shiver in our timbers, but we stayed strong. It went for a Dynamax and hit us with its signature Max Geyser. But this time around we went for a Max Rockfall to prevent the rain from going up. It goes for another Max Geyser, leaving us very low as we go for a powerful Max Lightning, finishing it off thanks to the Max Rockfall chip, earning us our second gym badge. After beating up Grandma in the Mines Tunnel again, we make it back to Montnosto. Where we face another problematic fight in Marnie at the end. It took us a few tries, but then we realized Blizzard is a TR we can buy already. So after making a quick trip to the wild area, we acquired what will probably be our strongest attack by far, easily sweeping Marnie's entire team by clicking the A button on Blizzard.
The next day.
After spending the night on the hotel, we made our way to the third gym, where after killing 5 innocent fire Pokemon, we arrived at Kabuzu's door, feeling fired up to take him down. Battle begins with Ninetales staring down Amaura. To start the battle off, I go for an instant Dynamax. As Ninetales burns me with a Will-O-Wisp, but it goes down to a Max Rockfall, setting up a Storm. As Arcanine comes in and it goes for a Flame Wheel, doing minuscule damage before it too dropping to a Max Rockfall. And finally, Centiskorch hits the field. The quite weak Rockmon versus the Rock-type Goliath. Who will win? It goes for a Max Flutterby, dropping our special attack, which is narrowly allows it to live a hit. It finally goes for the powerful Centisferno, and, say it with me viewer, not even close. We go for one last ancient power, finishing Centi off and giving us our third gym badge. After the first 3 gyms, things start to pick up in difficulty, by a lot. We start to make our way towards Stone's side, towards probably the hardest gym in the game, while beating up every necessary trainer along the way. We meet Hop right before the gym, who despite having the almighty bidet bird, still couldn't stand a chance against her powerful of friendship. We made it inside the gym and we cleared the first 2 gym trainers with ease, but then there was one particular gym trainer who made our life a pain. I don't know why my recording of this is not here, but just know it was this guy with a Hitmonlee and a Hitmonchan, and I had to reset for a freeze onto his first Pokemon, then I'm pretty sure I dodged a move from his second Pokemon thanks to the power of friendship mechanics. But after that heavy battle, we made our way to ultimately one of the big bad 4 of this run, B. To spare you the details, this battle took many resets, but finally, after 20ish tries, we got a good enough run. She leads off with him on top staring down Amaura, who is now at this point max friendship. I go for a Blizzard, doing over half as Hitmontop goes for a counter, wasting his turn. We take out the Hitmontop and Pangoro comes in next. I click Blizzard and boom! Freeze. Exactly what we needed. As Pangoro stares at me with a very disappointed look on his face, frozen solid, I set up to plus a special attack with Calm Mind. And then go for a max Hailstorm to finish him off. Two more Pokemon. Surfetch'd comes out and we go for another max Hailstorm, taking it out in one hit. And finally, Machamp also hits the field. It goes for a Gigantamax, but despite even that, I go for a max Hailstorm. Killing it in one hit, earning us our 4th gym badge. This is probably the hardest gym we'll have to do until all the gyms are done. But we speedrun through the lore and kick Grandma down the stairs once again before mashing the A button and making our way directly into the 5th gym without a single interruption. But not before picking up the absolute godsend that is going to be Eviolite, which will probably be our held item of choice for the rest of the run, aside from a few select battles. We quickly beat up the old people in the 5th gym and finally meet up with Opal. And to spare you the snooze fest, I clicked Calm Mind 6 times, OHKO'd every single one of her Pokemon afterwards. So we collected our 5th gym badge and on to the next gym town. We meet Hop again, which this time takes us 2 attempts thanks to me forgetting Snorlax has access to the move Heavy Slam. We still beat him up and make our way towards his Sirchester gym. The gym trainers were a breeze thanks to the power of Earth Power, and for the most part, Gordy was too. The battle begins with Barbarical staring down Amaura. I Dynamax turn 1 and Oakwood with a Max Quake plus hail damage. Shuckle comes in and takes over half from a Max Hailstorm while Shuckle went for a Stone Edge. But instead of finishing him off, I Max Guarded to waste my Max turn and went down to more normal size, and then proceeded to go for a Calm Mind plus an Aurora Veil before taking Shuckle down. Stonejourner comes in and goes for a Wonder Room. What does this move even do? Anyway, we Earth Powered it down almost all of his HP, and it too went down the next turn after he hit us with a Body Slam. Colossal comes in and it goes for a signature G-Max. His Earth Power Raw does over half of his HP as he goes for G-Max Volcanic. But it's too little too late as we take out Colossal with another Earth Power, earning us our 6th gym badge. 2 more to go. After another battle with Hob where I ran out of PP and was forced to Hail Chip stall a Corviknight thanks to Sirchester's permanent hail, we start making our way to Spikemuth for the 7th gym. We're right at the entrance awaited us another encounter with Marty, where we just used Liepard as a setup fodder to sweep her entire team. This gym unfortunately required us to use 2 Pokemon, so we were required to bring our front bunny from the box of shame into a double battle to die right afterwards. We arrived at the gym leader's fight, and it's none other than Piers, the guy that literally tells you what his Pokemon are going to do before he moves. Battle starts off with Scrafty versus Amaura. We both trade blows for over half of each other's HP, but the Scrafty goes down first. Obstacle comes in, who thanks to Piers telling me he's going to go for an Obstruct, we go for a Thunder Wave. We go for a Blizzard the turn after, but the Goon stays fully paralyzed for 2 turns in a row, allowing us to kill it. Malamar comes in and goes for a Night Slash as we go for a Blizzard, trading blows until Malamar goes down. And we're left with 8 HP. How could Piers possibly lose this? Skunktank comes in, and thanks to Piers telling me his next move, Sucker Punch, I go for a Thunder Wave. Then just keep clicking Calm Mind until he runs out of Sucker Punches, when we can just finish him off with a Freeze Dry for our 7th gym badge. What a difficult battle, eh? We run out of Specnoth, and after a bit of lore chaos, we arrive at Hammerlock for the 3rd time. And basically, without any interruptions, can go straight into the 8th gym. But before we get into it, we've probably seen Amaura use different moves throughout the run. But the basic summary for at least this late in the game is we only use around 8. And Blizzard, Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, Discharge, later Thunderbolt, Earth Power, Calm Mind, Iron Defense, and Thunder Wave. Mainly because just these few moves, we can wall any special or physical Pokemon that can't hit us for one of her big weaknesses. And besides, Thunder Wave is really abusable in that a Pokemon can stand still, it becomes slower than us basically automatically, and it's a lot easier to handle. But anyway, just wanted to touch on that since I haven't really made a moveset info bit for fights, so let's just get into the 8th gym. The 3 weather challenges prior to the gym leader weren't really all that difficult, as their quote-unquote weather abusers are just not good and either weak or neutral to ice. I forgot to record the rain one, but the other 2 I got to use hail anyway. So Blizzard does Blizzard things, as you already know, and the rain one, if I remember correctly, I just killed both Sliggoo and Pelipper with Freeze Dry, but these were just all pushovers before the real challenge before us, Raihan. So Raihan took us a few tries, and I did an oopsie and forgot to start recording on my final attempt, but I want to give a shout out to Amaura for this first attempt for not only leaving a Steel Wing from Flygon on 1 HP, but also double connecting a Blizzard in a Sandstorm. But anyway, in summary of what happened in the final attempt, I think Flygon went for a Steel Wing onto Amaura, which missed, thanks to the goofy friendship mechanics. Then Amaura Blizzard in Sandstorm hit both again, killed Flygon and did a decent bit to Gigalith, and Gigalith killed Fraud Bunny with Body Press. Is this cheating? Maybe, but remember, I didn't want to bring Fraud Bunny to this fight, nor was he at a level where he could touch any of Raihan's Pokemon, but he made me bring it, and he targeted it anyway. So, it's his fault, not mine. Anyway, Sandaconda comes in, and I go for a Dynamax to kill Gigalith with Max Quake as Sandaconda clears me. Then Duraludon comes in, Raihan Dynamaxes, and Sandaconda protects, as I go for Max Quake onto Duraludon, leaving it low. While he goes for a Steel Spike, which Amaura takes shockingly well. For my last turn of Dynamax, I go for a Hailstorm to finish off Duraludon and set up a Hail for clicking Blizzard onto the Conda later. This is where the recording kicked in. Sandaconda protects into Blizzard as a last-ditch effort, but to no avail. He goes for an Earth Power, doing less than half of our remaining HP as we finish this neck off with a single Blizzard, earning us our 8th and final Gym Badge. After earning all 8 gym badges, we take the train all the way up to Route 10 and start plowing through the trainers in a snowy mountain and eventually arrive in Windon to begin the final rival battles of the game. We turned in our 8 gym badges and we were officially in the last stretch. Up first, Marnie. And as much as I'd like to hype this battle up, we just did the same thing we did in Spikebuff. We set up in front of Liepard to +6 Spidef defense and +3 attack, special attack because of Snarl, before wreaking havoc into the rest of her team. One more fight, the King of Stall, Hop. Battle starts off double versus Amaura. His best attack to hit me with is reversal kick. So I just once again clicked Calm Mind and Iron Defense 6 times and OHKO'd all of his mons. Kind of anticlimactic, I know, but we're far from done. After a whale plotline about something, something, Rose something, something, end of the world, we climbed the Rose Tower because Hop was hungry, and we had to fight Rose's assistant. Oleana has a surprisingly solid team. She leads off with Frostlass, who profits pretty well from the hail we set up. We trade statuses as we go for a Thunderwave and Frostlass goes for a Will-O-Wisp, but thanks to the power of friendship, Amaura healed it off right away. We then set up in front of Frostlass, not being able to do much about it, and once we were fully boosted up, we OHKO'd Frostlass. My loader came in, just to instantly drop to a Freeze Dry. Serena, in and out to a Max Hailstorm. Salazzle came in and got a cheeky poison fart off before dropping to Max Quinn. And finally, Garbodor in Gigantamax to a massive pile of garbage as we went for a Max Quake. OHKOing it and defeating Oleana. Skip forward, we rebuilt our moveset for the bracket tourney with the gym leader rematches, and I deadass forgot we had to fight Grandma first. And I didn't save either, so we went into this with a very bad moveset for this fight, and I didn't want to just reset to go fix it, so I decided to give it a go, and ended up doing one of the wildest battles in the entire run. Grandma leads off with Mawile, getting a fairly useless Intimidate off. Now, my moveset here consists of Thunderwave, Calm Mind, Freeze Dry, and Light Screen, aka not ideal into this Mawile. I decide to go for a Thunderwave, hoping that maybe I can cheese my way out of this with Paralysis, as Mawile goes for an Iron Head, doing over half of my health. At this point, I thought I was pretty much doomed, but then Mawile stayed fully paralyzed, allowing me to get a Freeze Dry off, which surprisingly did over half of Mawile's health, allowing us to OHKO Mawile the next turn. Gardevoir comes in and I go for a Thunder Wave, completely forgetting about Synchronoise, getting Amaura paralyzed too. Gardevoir goes for a Wish at full HP for some reason, doing nothing. I set up a Light Screen the next turn as Gardevoir goes for a Calm Mind. After that, we start trading setups for a bit, occasionally getting interrupted by Para. But eventually, Amaura got boosted enough that I went for a Dynamax and tried going for the OHKO. but I barely missed out, and thanks to a full restore by Bead, my Dynamax was wasted as I get fully paralyzed in the last turn. This almost made me rage quit. Gardevoir eventually goes down, but it's left me low enough that I should die to any of Rapidash's moves, who conveniently comes in next. It clicks Cycle Cut and Power of Friendship, baby! We Oko it afterwards with a Freeze Dry, and finally Hatterene comes out. Theoretically, I should still just lose to this. It goes for a Max Mindstorm, leaving me with a measly 35 HP. I should die to the next one too. Given Psychic Terrain got set up, I go for a Freeze Dry, doing just over half, meaning it will kill next turn. However, we also die to a Psychic move. Terrain moves again, and Max Flare, we tanked that! Amaura easily lived the hit and took out Hatterene. How the hell did we just win that? After that crazy chaos though, we arrived for our due rematch with none other than Nessa. How come we have to conveniently fight both of the hardest gym leaders we've had to fight so far? Leon is conspiring against us, SMH in my head. Battle begins and Nessa leads off with Glycopod. To abuse its terrible ability, we go for a Thunderbolt, doing 90% of his HP and forcing him out. Seeking comes in and thankfully he doesn't have Lightning Rod as an ability. He goes for an Aqua Ring as we set up Thunder Wave. Now, Seeking's attack is not very good, so we start setting up Iron defenses as a Quadu super effective Smart Strike does a pitiful amount of damage. We set up to +6 and then proceed to take him out with a Thunderbolt. Parascuta comes in and goes for a Drill Run, which misses thanks to the great power of Friendship, as we take it out with another Thunderbolt. Glycopod comes in and takes a full restore, and dies to a big Max Lightning, setting up Electric Terrain for the next 2 targets. Twilibird comes in and it dies. No eventful, nothing. And finally, the big guy is here to play, Dreadnought. Nessa Gigantamaxes it, but even with Rain Up, Gmax Stone Surge did a minuscule less than 10%. As Dreadnought drops to a Max Lightning. 2 more battles. After a bit of rest, we're told our next opponent is none other than B, the big terrible one. This battle, shocking to some of you, took me many tries. Most of them consisted of the battle starting, waiting to see if Hawlucha missed a high jump kick. If it missed, great, we got an attempt. If it landed, time to reset. I tried this several times. It got to the point that I only started recording after Hawlucha missed the first high jump kick. But finally, the stars aligned. Battle started, and as I told you, Hawlucha finally missed a high jump kick as I went for an iron defense. Then I started recording. I protected the second turn to ensure it went down, as Hawlucha killed itself with high jump kick recoil. And next come in failings. These little guys can oko me with a single close combat, but to my shock, they went for bulk up as Amaura claimed another one with his signature blizzard. Graplock comes in, and lucky for me, this guy is a fraud. He goes for an Octolock as I go for a Calm Mind, knowing I can basically live any hit from this fellow. I go for a second Calm Mind as he misses submission, allowing me to go for a third Calm Mind until finally submission connects, doing over half. But the next turn I go for a Dynamax and Amaura takes Graplock down with a single max Hailstorm. Surfetch comes in, but also just drops the max Hailstorm in one hit. And lastly, the big bad Machamp. B goes for a Gigantamax, and it's all or nothing. We need to kill here. Amaura launches it, and it kills! And Machamp goes down, giving us the victory. And finally, we don't have to fight the fighting type gym leader anymore. One more battle. As you know already though, those were the only two real fights, as Raihan is more just a pushover than he was when we were playing double battles, as we beat this guy first try. Finally time for Leon. But womp womp, lore alert, we gotta save the world, I guess. We ran through the woods, picking up a rusty biohazard, and flew all the way back to Hammerlock, where we would face the second to last big bad of the run, Rose. Rose also took forever. Every try consisted of me dying to Ironhead turn 1 from Excavalier, then trying again, until eventually, after enough tries, this happened. This mechanic is so fair and balanced. I love it. We abused the Frozen Excavalier by setting up 6 Calm Minds, praying to Lady Luck and Iron Jesus to not thaw him out. Once we reached +6, the havoc started. Earth Power as Cavalier goes down. In comes Ferrothorn. Earth Power, down goes Ferrothorn. In comes Berserker. Earth Power, down goes Berserker. Quinklang comes in, and I go for the Dynamax. Tank 2 Gear Grinds, which do just under half of my health, as I Oko it with Max Quick. In comes Copperajah, G-Max, with clicked Earth Power, and boom! Say goodbye, Rose. Hell yeah. We battled some sort of guy at the top that apparently does a thingy with a thing. I don't know, man. I'm not here for the lore right now. I want to beat up a guy named Leon and say Amaura is the best Pokemon ever made. But after saving the world or something, it's finally time for probably the hardest fight in this entire challenge. The one you've all been waiting for. Leon. For real this time. Oh, viewer, if you thought B was hard, you haven't looked at Leon's team. First off, Aegislash. This monstrosity can Oko me with 2 of its 4 moves, and is insanely bulky. Then Haxorus with access to Iron Tail, Dragapult, the king of draft, Mr. Rhyme, this guy's an ass, ignore him. Inteleon, fast and hits crazy hard, and finally Charizard, the golden child, or as I like to call him, a fraud. This took many tries, similar to that of Rose and Strategy. So much so, I started attempting this fight outside of my recording area, like Chromebook hooked up with a Switch dock. But one day, I got this God run while I was away from my computer. So instead of it being one video, it's a bunch of Switch clips combined. So, well, here we go. We're staring down Aegislash once again. We go for the freeze dry and... freeze! What else did you think this was gonna be? We start abusing being in front of frozen Aegis by setting up to +6 special attacks, special defense, and defense, making us a lean, mean killing machine. Amaura got her favorite weapon and she took care of the rest. I'll leave you to enjoy the show.
Double kill! Triple kill! Multi-kill! Ultra kill!
Thank you guys so much for watching. This project took me hours both to record and to edit, so I do hope you enjoyed. In the end, did I convince you? I'd say that's irrefutable evidence that Amaura is the strongest Pokemon of all time, wouldn't you say? I'd like to see Arceus try that from the same level I started at. Yeah, that's right, he can't. Anywho, wanted to say thanks again. Like, subscribe, or whatever the kids say these days. And well, I hope to see you guys again soon. Have a good one.